morning everyone, it's Carol here at Oak House Journals. Big warm welcome from me as always. Lovely to have you with me. I'm going to be doing the 50 stack challenge this morning, as you can probably tell from the guest check on my desk. And if the challenge is new to you, there is a link in the description box below the video so that you can find out more information about that. In real time though, we are almost at the end of this particular challenge. We're on guest check number 46 of 50, but this is a challenge that you can do at any time. You don't have to start playing along now towards the end. You can do this one at any time. Or if you prefer, I know that Amy has just started a new challenge that's very similar to this one, and equally that's going to be as much fun. As I've mentioned, I'm going to be doing guest check number 46. The prompt that has been set is man, and I thought that rather than do man as in a male, I would do man in the generic term as in mankind. And particularly, I thought I would have a go at doing this skull, which for me would represent mankind. This is a tag that I did way back in 2015, according to the little label that I've put up here. And it was part of the 12 tags of 2015 that Tim Holtz did. Now, every month, Tim Holtz would create a tag using a particular technique. And the one he did for October 2015 was this one here on the back, and he would have used a die cut for this, and if you have the die cut then you could actually copy the tag that he was doing, or you could go away and create your own. And I believe that part of the technique would have been altering the background on here. So this was my particular take, and I was really pleased at how this came out. This was just an image I downloaded off the internet, printed off onto white lightweight cardstock, and then used my distress inks because those were all I had back in 2015. I don't think even distress oxides were out at that time, or if they were, I certainly didn't have any. So I used my distress inks to paint and colour the white paper to create the colouring on my skull. And then I know that I went in with some crackle paste, the clear rock candy, to get the texture on the skull, because it is quite textured, and also glossy accents for the eyes and the nose. Now these were pieces that I added in, and I loved how this came out. I was so proud of this piece, but I wanted to see if I could replicate it again, and whether or not it was a fluke that this just happened to turn out so well for me last time. So I was going to do this, and I was all set to do this, but last night Maggie set me a curveball challenge. She challenged me to use my watercolour paints, and the reason that that's a curveball challenge is because I really don't know how to watercolour. I have no idea whatsoever. I do dabble and I love playing with my water paints, but I have no idea what I'm doing. I really ought to take a workshop or a course, but do you know, I haven't got time with all the other crafting that I do. So what I thought I would do today is revert back to the prompt man in terms of a male and have a go at painting one. So I don't know how this is going to work out at all, but I'm going to give it a try. So this will have to wait for another day, this particular one. I've got here my watercolour paints. I've got a piece of mixed media paper that I'm going to cut to the size of my guest check, and then I'm going to paint my piece, dry it off and glue it on. I've got a bottle here of water. I've got a couple of my favourite paint brushes, a few more off to one side, and I've got a couple of bowls of water, and I also have some kitchen roll. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my audiobook and relax and try and create something today, and I'm going to put you in hyperlapse so that you can see this develop, because this is going to take me all day if it works, but I promise you I will show you the process, and I will show you the end result, whatever it looks like. And if it's an abject fail, then I won't glue it onto my guest check. I will probably go in and give this a try. So let's get started. The first thing I need to do is to cut this to the size of my guest check. I've cut my paper to the size of my guest check, so I'm all ready to go. But in the process of doing that, I realised that this actually wasn't mixed media paper. This is just some lightweight card that I'd accidentally lifted out last night. This is the heavier weight printer paper that I use for my journals if I want to coffee dye or do some printing. And I just did a little test piece here from the bit that I chopped off the bottom to see how well it would take the watercolour paints, and it takes it nicely. So I'm going to carry on and use this and see how it goes. As I said, I'm just going to put the camera on hyperlapse, I'm going to switch on my audiobook, and I'm just going to have a lovely day trying to paint and create something for my altered guest check. So I will be back in due course. So this is what my finished guest check looks like now, my finished little watercolour painting, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I certainly hit the prompt. I've got a gentleman here in the rain, or that's what it's supposed to look like. So I've hit the prompt of man. As you can see, I've done a line of black machine stitching all the way around my guest check to act as a frame for it, and then I've glued it onto my guest check. So there we go, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing this come together and my efforts at watercolour painting. We only have 4 more guest checks left to alter in this challenge, which means that we only have 2 more weeks of the challenge. It's cutting it very fine for me as I head off on holiday at the end of January, but I really hope that I will be able to get the last 2 guest checks, number 49 and 50, done before I go. Please keep an eye on my channel after we have finished this challenge, because I will be doing a quick video showing you how I plan to store all of my altered guest checks, and that might be something of interest for you. So I'm hoping that you'll pop by and take a look at that. So until the next video, everybody, take care, keep smiling, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Bye.